Watch Dogs Legion will cost you $60, but is it actually worth your money? Let's find it out right here in this video. I'm also giving away a copy of Watch Dogs Legion and Cyberpunk 2077. Make sure to hit the like on the video if you want to win it, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications. Watch Dogs Legion is finally coming out in just a month from now, and Ubisoft already showed quite a lot of gameplay and things that we can do in the game. We're only still waiting on the multiplayer gameplay. I think it's fair to compare the game with a game that is also $60 and has quite a lot of similarities. For example, a futuristic world, a lot of technology. I'm talking about Cyberpunk 2077. So let's compare. Both of the games are $60. So let's see what type of content we are getting for that amount of money. Watch Dogs itself is based in the city of London, while Cyberpunk is based in a fantasized city which is called Night City. So the cool thing that both of these games have is that every single corner, every single area in the game is completely original. It's not like we just copy paste the city to make it bigger. Really, everything that is in the city is different, so there is a whole lot of areas to explore in both of the games. In both Watch Dogs and Cyberpunk, you are actually able to hack your environment. Basically, everything that is attached to a network is hackable, but in Watch Dogs Legion, you can actually go ahead and even hack cars like we saw in the older games. Obviously, the camera angle of both of the games are completely different. Cyberpunk 2077 is in first person, and Watch Dogs Legion is in third person, just like the original Watch Dogs games though. CD Projekt Red went for this first-person look because they actually wanted the player to be more involved in the action, and the third-person look on Watch Dogs obviously since the beginning looked really nice, and it kind of gives you this GTA feel. In Watch Dogs Legion, you have 5 different main stories which I think are going to be super big, and in Cyberpunk 2077 you have 3 different ways to start off the game. You can start off as the street kid in an urban jungle. You can start off as the nomad starting out on the Badlands, which is the outskirts of Night City, and you can also start off as corporate, where you will actually start with all the expensive cyberware, and what could possibly go wrong from that point on, right? Well, in terms of content, we already have seen quite a lot from Cyberpunk 2077, how advanced the open world is, and also quite a lot of missions. We know from Watch Dogs Legion that there are 60 different missions in the game, and I think in Cyberpunk 2077 there will be overall more open world activities, to be completely honest. What is a really cool feature in Watch Dogs Legion is that you can actually take over NPCs. This can be anyone, a grandpa, grandma, construction worker, anyone that you can think of, but in Cyberpunk 2077 they have done it in a different way, where you actually go in a brain dance station and you can look at memories of NPCs in the game. This way you get a different story each and every single time, for example of a robbery, but in Watch Dogs Legion you are actually able to play as that NPC. Watch Dogs Legion is actually the sequel to Watch Dogs 2. In the story, the city of London got attacked by terrorists, and the government thinks that DedSec, the hackers group that you are in, is responsible for these deeds. Well, obviously they are not, but are still getting chased. For the Watch Dogs fans, people have been waiting for about 4 years until the sequel of the game. Although Cyberpunk 2077 is a completely new game series, people have been waiting 7 years already since the game was announced back in 2013. So in terms of famous characters, Watch Dogs actually has Aiden Pierce, which is from Watch Dogs 1, and also the rapper Stormzy, which is a rapper from London, and he blew up a couple of years ago. And obviously Cyberpunk 2077 has the in-game character Johnny Silverhand, which is actually Keanu Reeves. I also have the PC specs for both of the games. For Watch Dogs Legion, you need Windows 10, an Intel Core i5 4460, or an AMD Ryzen 5 1400. As a graphics card, you need a GTX 960 or AMD Radeon R9 290X. You need at least 8 GB of RAM and 45 GB of storage. With Cyberpunk 2077, you can actually go for Windows 7 or 10, an Intel Core i5 3570K, or an AMD Radeon RX 470. The game itself will be 70 gigabytes, which is nothing too crazy. I think both of the games are pretty well optimized. Looking at the game size, I thought that Cyberpunk 2077 would be a much more gigabytes. These are not the suggested requirement specs. These are actually the requirements to be able to play the games, but it's really surprising to see that for Watch Dogs Legion, you need Windows 10, a better graphics card, and also a better processor to be able to play the game. I really thought it was going to be the other way around. Although there are a lot of similarities between these games, even the price is the same. I'm not gonna sit here and act like these games are completely the same, because they're not. Both still have a completely different vibe to it, and also there are loads of different selling points for both of the games though. Although I haven't seen the Watch Dogs Legion's multiplayer trailer, I do want to start off by saying definitely those two games are worth the $60, but I do think that Cyberpunk 2077 is going to give you more playtime in terms of content, and also you have a bigger chance to actually continue to play the game even though you already finished it, because I think there is much more to explore. I literally can't wait to jump into Night City, but I feel exactly the same about London City, because obviously London is one of my favorite cities and I can't wait to go back. Watch Dogs Legion is definitely going to give you a lot of playtime as well. If you do want to win Watch Dogs Legion or Cyberpunk 2077, make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications, guys, to the channel. If you found this video helpful in any way, make sure to hit the like on the video, guys. Make sure to go ahead and watch yet another Watch Dogs Legion or Cyberpunk 2077 video. Click on the screen, and this has been your boy Cheese. I am out. Peace.